You mentioned cryptocurrency, and I know you said you weren't going to talk about Bitcoin anymore, but you're at Stanford. Some of us put all our student loan money into it, and I have to ask you anyway. Why do you believe that governments and regulators can't allow the existence of a global currency based on
I've become like a spokesman against Bitcoin. I don't care. I don't care about Bitcoin. I could give a shit, to tell you the truth. And I promised myself I wouldn't talk about it. The next day, there are 4 things really quickly. Blockchain is real. It's technology. It can be public or private. It can be for 5 people. It can be for 5 million. It's going to work. You already use it in a lot of test cases, stuff like that. So we're a supporter. I do worry a little bit about the security. Because, like I said, we move $6 trillion a day, real time, quite efficiently, effectively, and secure. Before you replace that, you got to make sure you can do it right. There are 3 cryptocurrencies, okay? 3 types, 3 separate types. One is ICOs. ICO, and I haven't studied these things, but you're paying for a token that allows you to use a service, which is very different than a currency, but that's what people call cryptocurrencies. And maybe Jim, maybe you've studied some of these ICOs. I have no idea, about some will give you cloud services or some can give you investing services. That's one type. The second type, you can use cryptocurrency for fiat currency. Well, that works because it just uses a different technology to move money around. Basically keep your money digitally anyway, and if you just keep different files in a different way and distributed ledgers, that would work fine. But I've always thought about Bitcoin as a currency and a store of value and a payment mechanism is that governments, and this is my belief, and I may be wrong, I'm not saying you can't go to $100,000, that governments are going to crush it one day for 3 reasons, okay? One is when it's used for terrorist activities, okay? It'll happen, it's a matter of time, it'll go back to a Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the DOJ, the United States government, all these people in Washington who profess to love technology and novelty of Bitcoin are going to change their mind. Number 2, when a lot of little old ladies lose their money, because the speculative vehicle was allowed to exist by the United States government, and they're going to lose their money and they're going to be pounding, you should have done something about it. And number 3 is the most important, whenever a government forms itself and you go to any country in the world, pull out the currency, look at the date, that fiat currency was formed by that government with the central bank because governments like to control their currency. They like to know who has it, where it's going, why it's going, when it went, et cetera. And right now, Bitcoin's a novelty. It's $100 billion. And $1 billion a day trades hands. Obviously, mostly speculation, okay? And obviously, there's a real use case. I'm not making this a joke. Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, criminal, drug money. That'll always be true. So it'll always have a use case that's valuable to someone because it's better in those countries to do something, to have that than to have currency or cash or money in a bank because the governments, they take that too. And if you go to Argentina, they had effectively savings accounts. The government just went in and took it. They just took it. And, of course, everyone took the money out of the bank right after that, and the country basically collapsed. But so that's the reason why. And it's going to get bigger and bigger, and they're going to want to control it. And it's not the same as a fiat currency. A fiat currency, the government says, you must take this as legal tender. And at par, effectively, cash, at par. And it's always worth par. And I don't know why a crypto dollar would ever be something that, a store of value would be worse than a crypto Bitcoin. So, that's my view, and I may be wrong, which I doubt. But I've been wrong before, though. So, and if I'm wrong, I also don't care very much. To tell the truth, it'll never affect my life. And it's not because they write, the bankers are defending their stuff. That's absolutely untrue. If Bitcoin works and we have to do something with Bitcoin, we'll do that too.
Kind of a win-win there.
Exactly.